All right, you got the letting relationships flow, okay? So on the back of this card, it is going to give us a little insight as to what you might be thinking or feeling, and a positive way to, consider what's going on. So it says that today I will stop trying to control my relationships. I will participate at a reasonable level and let the other person do the same. I can let go knowing that the relationship will find its own life or not, and that I don't have to do all of the work, only my share. Absolutely. So some of you are going through a situation where you're in a relationship romantically, and you might be trying to control how the relationship navigates. Some of you might be, wanting a further commitment or more communication from your partner, and you're trying to think of ways how to get there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. For some of you, this might be relationships at work, relationships when it comes to friends and family. So however that resonates. Now, I am going to take a look here at my mind and body makeover deck. I call this my Mona Lisa deck because it does have a picture of Mona Lisa on the front, and see how these feelings, okay, could be affecting your mental and as well as your body. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's take a look at, okay, let's see what we got. All right, so some of you might be struggling with and I do feel like for the collective, this could be a love or a romantic relationship. You might be finding it difficult to speak your mind, especially when it comes to relationships, when you're angry. Some of you might have a quick fuse and know that if you are angry with someone that you love or that you're in relationship with, it's hard for you to speak your mind. Some of you, might decide to go within, walk away, detach yourself from the person, from the situation. And others of you might find other ways to display this anger. Some of you, it might not be in the healthiest way. I mean, because sometimes detaching yourself from that very moment can be a good thing because it's diffusing the situation. But some of you stay stuck in that and never communicate how you're feeling, or you might communicate with anger instead of, having the ability to really be heard. Okay, because when people hear anger or feel like anger is being projected towards them, it's more difficult for them to hear the words and to listen with intent and understanding. So some of you might be dealing with this. And so you feel like, when I'm angry, I just can't find the words, or it's hard for me to find the words or the way to articulate, what's upsetting me. So the positive to think of this is in a loving relationship, by taking appropriate action and communicating directly, I can transform any troubling situation or problem or obstacle. All right. Now, definitely with this, I'm going to take a look even further. For some of you, because you are not allowing this to come out in a more subdued way, okay, you might find that your relationships and your conversations end up in escalation. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's see, this is healthy love 54. Okay, I'm just going to read a little bit here out of the book, give us some more insight. It says, for any relationship to stay healthy, it's important to regularly clean out the emotional lint trap. If we've been hurt and doing nothing, resentment builds up like weeds taking over a garden, and the love dies. Learning to effectively communicate our feelings can transform any problem or challenging situation. All right. So some of you might be feeling a form of resentment, anger, which could lead to moodiness, depression, escalated high cholesterol, and even blood pressure, fevers, that sort of thing. So if some of you are experiencing some of those things within your body might be telling you that, it's time to find a better way to communicate how you are feeling, okay? When we keep those things inside, our body now responds to it. And a lot of times, the medical situations that pop up are just based on how we're feeling, how we're thinking, and how we're behaving. So this can help you alleviate some of these things. Some of you might be experiencing headaches. We have a lot of headaches going on for a lot of people, but definitely moodiness, possibly some anxiety for some of you. Some of you are even experiencing internal fevers that translate to cold sores, okay, or inflammation of the throat area. And that's because you're suppressing things down internally, okay? So just pay attention to some of those elements. And, sometimes just by changing the way that you think and speak and feel and even behave can really help you, become a lot healthier within your body. So let's go ahead and take a look. We've looked at the mind, the body, and let's see how some of this is affecting your soul, okay? Because it's all connected here, Scorpio. And another thing I'll say is, Scorpio is known to be a sign that really likes to have control over their life, period. Sometimes it can spill over to trying to seek control over other people. And I feel like it's more so, I don't think that you guys see it that way. I think it's more so of trying to create a happiness, a happy space. And it's like, I feel like this would make us happy. I think that, I can make you happy. I really want you to pay attention to what I'm saying, what I'm providing. And it's like very important for you guys to know that people understand where you're coming from and people understand that you love and care for them. So sometimes it can be perceived as, controlling, because you might do things to try to orchestrate for someone to be really able to see and acknowledge what you are providing. And that's why here, when it says today, I will stop trying to control my relationships. I feel like, and this is not for everyone, but for some, I feel like some of you need to take a little step back with trying to control situations and really use your verbal to articulate to get that understanding. So, sometimes using, your words is the better way than trying to, manipulate. And I don't say that in a negative way, an outcome, especially when it pertains to other people. Everyone has their own perception of, what's going on and what they want to do, and that sort of thing. So you have to be cognitive of that. You really will. Spirit is telling me you'll get more bees with honey, so it's just really prompting you to, approach things a little bit more, cohesive, a little bit more positive, a little less aggressive. All right. Yeah, because some of you are not articulating verbally to be heard. It's like you are wanting to be heard, but it's being perceived as very angry or very aggressive, okay? And for some of you, I know that's not your intention, but I feel like for some of you, because you feel so misunderstood and because you're really, really trying to get to the point and trying to get your point across, there's frustration in that. And so that does come across, okay? to the receiver. And so now the receiver is having a difficult time in really seeing what your agenda or motive is, even if it is in the positive. Okay, Scorpio. So just keep that in mind. Now your spirit, okay, is speaking about divine guidance. All right, so we're going to take a look here and see what is coming out with this, okay? All right, so it says, look within for the answers. Follow your intuition, your own inner guidance. Listen to your heart, follow your instincts and gut feeling. Even if it feels strange, go with that which you feel energetically drawn to. Explore what you are energetically drawn to do. Stop and listen, really listen. Stop and feel, really feel. Let yourself go deep. The greatest wisdom is inside of you, okay? So yeah, your spirit is saying, like, really, really go deep within inside yourself and really start to get an idea of what things you need to really do, what things you really want, and really listen. I think that your intuition is telling you some things, and it's just time to really pay attention to that. And when they say really listen and really feel, for some of you, I think that you guys are having a difficult time with really seeing and really feeling. Some of you have been through some things through childhood, okay? And so feeling is difficult for you, all right? You don't really have a vulnerable side to you always. Some of you have a very high guard up and are wanting to love and wanting to give, and you give the best way you know how. Some of you have your wall all the way down, and emotionally you get bruised. And so finding that healthy balance to be able to listen to your inner self and know that when your inner self is speaking to you and your intuition is really high, those are the things you need to pay attention to guide you through, certain situations. So yeah. And again, letting relationships flow, however these relationships end up, I honestly believe is the way that they were intended to, okay? Really setting your own course and really, finding that self-control, looking at your wants and desires and being able to, give and receive, listen and be heard, will really help you balance this out. And, if people can't see your perspective or your side on things once you do articulate healthily, that's when you have to decide, is it worth it? Am I trying too hard to be heard? Am I getting really frustrated that I'm not being heard? It might just be time to change courses and go another direction, because you shouldn't feel like you have to go to such extremes to be heard or to be seen, okay? You should be able to communicate effectively and really allow things to flow the way that they need to, and really releasing the control of, trying to get something to flow in the way, in the time frame that you would like, okay? So just really taking a step back from that. Now, you did get the Sedna card. This is my goddess deck here. Shows up to say that you have infinite supply. You're supplied for today and all of your tomorrows, okay? So I feel like for some of you, there are some sincere needs that you are having. And so sometimes you get caught up in, getting those needs met. And sometimes when we get caught up in that and we're not fully seeing that, or we're not fully being able to display that even, there's some insecurities, there's some letdowns from other people, and we don't feel like we have all of what we need, okay? So let's just take a deeper look here. It says, I was just compelled to read this. I typically don't read out of the book for these. It says, this is an abundant universe filled with more than enough for everyone. Yet the energy format of this planet is about polarities, okay? In this instance, it's about giving and receiving, absolutely. The key is to balance the two. If you only give, you'll feel drained, resentful, and experience lack. If you only receive, you won't enjoy what you have. Balance comes from fearlessly giving us your guided and then receiving with joy and gratitude, okay? Balance comes from fearlessly giving as you're guided, okay? It's exactly like breathing. Both the inhale and exhale are identically important. Practice giving and receiving daily. Sorry, guys, stumbling over my words today. But yeah, just like I was saying, this is about giving and receiving, and knowing that regardless of how this flows, okay, even if things don't work out, if you take the time to, give to yourself and see what that really looks like, and you're really honestly able to give to others, you can understand that, you're making sure that your needs are met, and you can work on, making sure their needs are met. There needs to be a perfect balance, and really not fighting to get what you want. Let someone show you who they are. You shouldn't have to orchestrate anything, or things shouldn't have to get escalated in order for the person to get it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to my healing deck here. It's my Earth Warrior healing deck. And let's see what the healing message is for you guys. So this is what's been blocking you. Could be just for the month of May. For some of you, it's even longer. This is what's been blocking you, really trying to have control over this outcome that you're looking for, really wanting to be acknowledged, wanting to be heard. For some of you, it's wanting to have your way about something, and the communication just hasn't been as effective as it could be, and you feeling like your needs aren't being met, not knowing how to articulate this properly without getting angry. And for some of you, not receiving what you really would like, okay, and not knowing how to articulate that either. So there's a little bit of resentment, a little bit of anger here, from what I'm sensing. Now, you did get no good thing shall be withheld. Okay, I love this. I love this. So we're going to take a deep look at this here, and really get some more insight, and then I will take a look further, because I feel like this card ties into the infinite supply here that we've already discussed. Okay, wrong book. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go here. Get it together. All right. It's been a rough one. I've been going through a spiritual surgery, if you will, a spiritual purging for the last week. And so, yeah, it's been pretty rough. But it will definitely detox me to go to the next level. And so I'm trying to embrace it, but I've been under the weather, stumbling over my words, and I myself have had a lot of fevers and things like that, but it's because, some of the past energy, the past hurts, the past situations are purging up out of me, which is so necessary in order for me to go to the next stage. So, yeah, I am trying to get it together here. So here is this oracle that is going to speak about resources that are coming to you now. If you have been in lack, limitation, or anxiety about such things happening, relax and substitute your stress for absolute trust that the universe will provide all good things with generosity and grace. If you find this challenging, take it one step at a time. Reprogramming your heart and mind into new habits of peaceful trust, it will feel much better to live like this. It is not foolishness, but wisdom that embraces such unconditional faith. Know that the provisions of all resources required is a certainty. The only variables are the details of how the journey unfolds. When you tune into your heart, you'll remember that you are loved, protected, and guided in every moment. Trust the universe. Absolutely. Letting things flow, okay? And knowing that all of the resources that you need, whatever you feel like you're lacking, for some of you, I feel like some of you may have lost some type of income, lost some type of resource, maybe have lost a job, and that's why you have lost income. Some of you may have even lost a relationship here. There has been some loss here, and this is why some of you are feeling like, you don't have all of the things that you need, okay? Some of you are trying to, get these things back or rebuild things and really stressing over how to get this done. And, what am I going to do about this? It's like you guys are almost in panic mode about this loss, or trying to get things in order the way that you would like them to, okay? But the answers to all of this, as to why this is happening and what needs to happen moving forward, lies divinely within yourself, using your intuition. But also it says here that, no good thing no good thing shall be withheld, okay? And that is such a profound message, because, what's for you is for you, Scorpio. So you can try to hold on to something or orchestrate it in the way that you want to, but honestly, the blessings that are meant for you are going to happen regardless, if you try to hold on to them, or you try to master the outcome and the way that you want them to. There are certain things that are just for you, okay? So you have to trust, okay? Trust that the universe has your back, and really, really just try to relax and substitute the stress of trying to control things or wondering how things are going to work out, and trust that the universe absolutely has your back, okay? It says that resources are coming to you now, okay? We see that here, and we see this here. So there's no need to worry, all right? We don't want things that are orchestrated that we have to beg and plead for. We don't want things where people feel like they're obligated to give us anything, okay? We want people to naturally want to give whatever it is to us, that promotion, that committed relationship, that companionship, the compassion, the communication, that sort of thing. So, just letting go of trying to orchestrate this outcome. Let people show you who they are. Don't try to, form somebody into something that they're not, okay? If they're not for you, they're not for you. If that job hasn't offered you the promotion, or that job's not treating you right or paying you well enough, if that friend is not, treating you with respect, whatever the case is, don't try to make that fit into your life, all right? Just know that, let it flow. And if you need to see more from that person, to make an informed decision, let it flow and let them show you who they are. If once you see what it is and you use your intuition, and your intuition's going to either tell you, you know what,